Normally I work on small engine stuff, but an engine is an engine basically. They all require fire, fuel, and air. Hello everyone, Big Al Cox here, and I hope your 4th of July holiday was great, and happy birthday to the USA. It's been a long day. We are in July 4th cookout mode back at the shop trying to get ready for that. It's been a hot day and I'm tired, but it's not over yet. I gotta go head up to the store, see a buddy of mine. He said that over the past week or so his car's been acting funny to start. Then he goes to leave from work and nothing this evening. Kind of sounds like maybe a battery problem or a defective alternator, but I know the battery and alternator have been replaced less than a year ago. I put a starter in the car last winter and did all that. Sometime after that the alternator did go out and that's been replaced. I'm hoping that this is just something simple like a loose connection or a dirty terminal, maybe a blown fuse. I'm going to carry a multimeter, adjustable wrench, a pair of pliers and some assorted fuses and a jump pack and go and see if I can do anything to help them out. There it is, a 2009 Ford Taurus. Generally these are pretty good cars. I think he's been driving this car for 7 or 8 years. He don't go on long trips with it or drive long distances. In fact, he only lives a few miles from the store. If anything, we'll give him a ride home and deal with it tomorrow. There's definitely no power in the cabin. He said it was making a clicking noise even after he took the key out. Well, it's not doing that now. It's dead as a doornail. No lights, no dashboard activity, no anything. Checking the battery voltage here is just slightly above 12 volts. You know, unlike the old days when your battery would give you a warning when it was about to EOL, now we got to have computers running everything. So those systems have a voltage threshold that's usually 12 volts or above to operate. So if at any one given moment your battery voltage say drops to 11.9 or 11.5 or 10 volts, you're not going to be able to start your vehicle. Some things that will kill your battery voltage on a newer battery like this one can be an alternator, shortage somewhere, or a bad ground, something that's draining off excessive voltage keeping the battery from charging. In this case here I can note the presence of some battery acid, and I know this battery terminal is not the OEM that should be in play here. So I got to looking close at this terminal, and if you can see here, the thinner gauge wire that runs to the system power here is loose in this connector. And I'd say that's what's going on here. Over time this is loosened up, especially with all the hot and dry weather we've had here lately. It might be to the point now where it's at a full short. That would also explain why the alternator is either barely charging or not charging the battery at all. And that would explain the battery voltage being right at 12 volts. Heat something up and cool it off, stuff's gonna come loose. At least the battery is not totally drained. I'm going to make a run back to the shop and see if I have a heavy duty connector with a little more space for these wires and replace that terminal. It won't be the OEM by no means, but if he wants the original one we may have to order that. If you see battery acid on your terminals, clean them up immediately. This can become a problem very quick. It can keep your battery from being charged properly, and it can kill your battery even, or it could cause your electrical system to go wacky from low or changing voltages. In extreme cases like the $50 John Deere lawnmower I bought here a while back, it can even heat your hardware up. This terminal was coated in a layer of battery acid and corrosion. Get you one of these battery terminal cleaners at your favorite parts store. And about twice a year, take off your battery terminals, spray some lubricant like WD-40, PB Blaster, whatever you can have as a good lubricant, and thoroughly clean them off. You can even take a small piece of sandpaper or a wire brush and clean any acid or corrosion off these terminals. This will go a long way in preserving the life of your battery and may keep you from having any unnecessary electrical problems or from being stranded at work, like the case of my buddy here. New batteries are expensive like everything else nowadays. Well, now that I know what's going on, I'm going to run back to the shop and see if I have a heavy-duty battery terminal. This is one of those heavy-duty battery terminals. I think this comes from NAPA. It has a good cavity for big wire, and it's wide enough to compensate for the small gauge wire. So I'm going to get that on there and tighten the nuts down. Now before I go back on this battery terminal, I'm going to spray some lubricant on the post and the connector. You can use dielectric grease. Petroleum jelly also works. This something is a good measure to slow down battery acid and corrosion and assure good voltage flow between the connector and the battery post. The new terminal was a tight fit, so I separated the opening a little bit and I used a rubber hammer to snug it down on the post. Now I'll look around and smell around and listen up for any shorts or funny noises for a minute or two before I start tightening the bolts down. I heard something click when I connected the cable, but that was hopefully just the system powering up. I don't think there are no problems. I'm going to do a final torque on the wire mounting bolts. Now I'll tighten down the battery terminal thoroughly. I'm going to have the driver to start the car while I stand out here. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we want. Now I want to check the voltage on the battery terminals. He says there's no battery light on in the cabin. I'm getting right around 14 volts DC, so the alternator is charging the battery again. It should bring the battery back to its operating strength. So a new heavy-duty battery terminal and cleaning the post got the car to start again. The alternator is throwing 14 volts on the battery once again. This battery being less than a year old, it should be fine now. My grandpa used to say if you can count 5 friends on your hands, that's worth more than money in the bank. How much would a tow have cost? How much would a shop have charged for the repair? Makes you feel good to help somebody. Now that I'm over all these vehicle problems, maybe I can get back to my smaller engine projects. I'm Big Allen Cox and I've got some more stuff in the works right now, so stay tuned. There will be more videos coming soon. Blessings from my shop to yours.